Getting out of being convicted for murder by saying the devil made me do it might be very iffy, but what if it works? What if it's based on a real case? What if it's part of the Conjuring universe? Man, that must make a good movie.
It was a demonic spirit
that appeared to this child. That was really the introduction to his becoming a victim of diabolical possession.
It's not a secret that I believe in the paranormal, UFOs being one of those things that I have actually seen with my own eyes, and I'm not attributing anything supernatural to them, I'm just saying they exist because I've seen them. Demonic possessions? When somebody loses control of their body and their mind because there's something possessing their body? That I haven't seen, but The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, makes a compelling case, not only because it's based on real-time events, but also because it's a movie that tells the story of a man who helps the Warrens during an exorcism and by happenstance decides to take the place of someone, and because of that, it's possible that he gets possessed. He commits a murder, and the Warrens are trying to find if it's really true that he got possessed by demons and prove it in a court of law. Now, don't get this wrong. This is definitely not a movie that happens at the court. It actually is a movie that it's more of an investigation. The Warrens are different now. Things have happened to them that make the movie very different from the other Conjuring movies. There's a lot of things that happen outside of just a house, and they need to find out if the possession is actually real. If it is real, who is responsible and how to stop it, and most importantly, how to prove if this man is indeed innocent or not. I think Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are cemented in these roles, and they know exactly how to play them. But because they're put in a different situation, they have to play more vulnerable, more interesting roles that definitely make the actors shine in what they already do very well. It's a fairly competently shot movie, but for me, it's different from the other Conjuring, and this is why.
Keep in mind, you know, it wasn't the Warrens that knocked on a door and said, "Hey, is your son possessed?" It was a Catholic church, Father Dennis, who brought us in, called us up at 11 o'clock at night.
The movie manages very well to introduce new elements of how possession works, on how psychic or mental or spiritual connection works, on what demons can do and why, on how curses might be working, on how the Warrens interact with local authorities as well as between each other, and it gives glimpses at possibly other people being able to stop evil, grab evil items and keep them in a vault or a dark museum to keep them away from the public and keep people safe. In other words, The Conjuring 3 expands on the universe they've created and opens up a possibility for a lot more. And I understand this is a departure from a formula that has worked before. In fact, this is the biggest budget for a Conjuring movie, so they need to recoup a lot of ticket sales, and considering that movie theaters are opening and that it did very well in the box office, even with limited theater releases, it's gonna do well. Blumhouse has this amazing idea of don't spend too much but get a huge revenue, and they have been very successful. I made a video about this before where I said that they basically have created a way of earning almost as much money as Marvel does by releasing one movie, but Blumhouse releases 3 or 4 during a year and they make a lot of dough and spend very little. Vera Farmiga here, it's very interesting what she does, and what she does is shows a side of vulnerability, and she wants to actually not have psychic connections, and she's avoiding certain things, and I love that aspect where she understands that there's some things that she will be exposed to that she hates and she wants to avoid it at all costs, but she must do it in order to get closer to their objective. Overall, the direction is sharp and the director really knows what he's doing, even though these characters, we've seen them before do crazy things and they're put in situations that are interesting and new. And that's what I love about a third installment of a movie that manages still to show new sides of characters and tell stories that are compelling and emotional.
Oh my goodness, they've
yeah.
made more than one movie,
Right.
and there has been numerous
Books,
books.
movies, you name it.
I honestly feel The Conjuring has a lot of potential and room to grow, and this movie has shown that it can expand into broader, more advanced concepts while still being grounded on based on a true story. Now, I'm not gonna spoil much, but I really need to talk to you about based on the real story concept, because I mean there's only so much you can do to a story because you are kind of stuck in this is what happened and we're trying to expand upon it. Well, The Conjuring does an amazing job because the guesses that the audience will have about where this went don't need to be guesses. You can actually go online and research what happened, what was told to the courts, how did the lawyers battle, what exactly happened to the people that we see in this movie, which makes it that much scarier. Because sure, the movie and the court case doesn't prove that demonic possession really exists, but it opens the idea that very smart people, lawyers, judges, police really thought that it's compelling enough of an idea and a concept that things in the real world actually get affected by demons. This is an amazing, very cool idea where what you're watching, it's that much real. The fear is more tangible, and The Conjuring is just a fantastic concept. The third installment, again, it's not a dry well yet. You can explore a lot more, and the direction where this is going, I'm super excited to see more.
Possession is a very terrible thing. You would see an 11-year-old boy, he would be drawing, and all of a sudden he'd look up and that little boy wasn't there no more. What you seen was a monstrosity.
If you enjoyed this type of movie, I strongly suggest The Rite with Anthony Hopkins, which is also based on a true case. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, is a very strong entry into the Conjuring franchise. It expands the universe to places where you hope it will go in other sequels or prequels or spin-off. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are amazing at playing the Warrens. It's an emotional, scary, compelling movie with 3 very scary sequences. One at the beginning, one at the end, and a middle. It delivers everything that you expect and surprises and twists. And it's so beautiful. And I strongly suggest you check it out in theaters if that's available in your location. I wonder, what is your favorite horror movie based on real events? My name is Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thanks for watching.
Well, how did Arnie Johnson become possessed as a result of David? It certainly isn't a contagious thing, but you see, he had challenged what was there. In his great compassion for this young boy, he would say, "Take me on. I'm stronger than he is. Leave my buddy alone."